Hey everyone, so as you can see from the clouds behind me, winter is rolling in, and in a few days we're predicted to get snow, and then after that we're predicted to have our lows in the low 20s, maybe even down into the teens. Yikes, those are all degrees Fahrenheit. And so most of my crops I know for sure are good down to zone 8. There are some that I'm playing in 7, some even down to 5. But there are some other crops like my grains and my pea crops that I'm trying this year that I don't know if they're going to survive. So I'm doing what I can to kind of deep mulch some stuff like my artichokes, but then I'm also wanted to give you a quick little tour of what I've got going just in case they all die next week. So let's go explore some grains that I have in the garden. But first, a quick look at my beet bed. If you look past the leaf miners and the slug damage, there's actually quite a bit. We have some general four-colored beets, and then we have the crapadine beets that are those really long old ones, some leaf greens, and then a selection of radishes. These are actually the radishes that I tried to grow earlier, but then cats and other things happened, and so now they're hanging out over here, and I dibbled those in, and they seem to be doing pretty darn good, so curious about that. And then, as I mentioned, I just cut back my artichokes. It was a little bit of a Jurassic jungle here since our winter had been so mild, but now they're under a really nice floofy layer of mulch. This cutting back wasn't really necessary, but artichokes and cardoons, well, at least artichokes, they're not very they don't freeze well, and so they just turn into a big pile of mush, and I'd much rather deal with non-mushy leaves than, oh, here comes the snow, it's coming, than wet mucky leaves. I'd much rather deal with fresh leaves. All right, and so this is what is left of my turnips and radishes. They're still growing well, and I'm hoping they should do just fine. And so you can see that this is one of those big black Spanish radishes. And then I have some of the purple beer or German radishes and a couple of daikons, and then what's left of my turnips. And then this bed, this bed is my Pea Experiment Bed. So it has a grain in it. It's just kind of a blue wheat from the Netherlands, I think. I forget the name of it right off the top of my head. But what's the exciting thing is I have some favas in here. It's just little small seeded white fava, which I'm hoping maybe will taste different. It's called threefold. And then here are the peas, and we shall see what happens. So you can tell that I was hoping that they'd grow up into the grass a little, or the wheat a little bit more to give them some structure and support. But these are those wild peas of Umbria, which is like a really small-seeded carlin pea, or a brown speckled pea. So hopefully these guys won't die, they'll live. I am going, as you can see here, I have some Rami. I'm going to toss it over this one just because I don't want my peas to die. So I need to get the hoops in there. And then otherwise, a couple other different types. I have some blue shelling peas back here, and then a bunch of just standard kind of sugar pods. And so I'm gonna see if these overwinter, and if they do, maybe they will allow me to shoot the window of pea weevils a little bit better. So that is that bed there. And then moving on. Don't mind that messy bed that never got planted for winter. This one I'm pretty darn excited. It is a rivet wheat, which is one that can be used for thatching. And so while it is still, you can cook with it, but you can also use it for thatching. So hopefully this will continue to grow, and I can have a thatching project. Perennial green bed is doing quite well, but I fully expect the sorrel to take a hit. And then the good King Henry is going to play out. And those kales, though, they're going to get tasty. All right. Hello, rain, snow, sleet, whatever you are. And then more. So these are two different types of wheat in here. Both a little bit older. This is, do I have labels? No, I don't. I think this is a Spanish wheat from that's datable to the 1600s. But hidden amongst here are more peas. And so those are a golden harvest pea. But I think sadly the slugs are eating them faster than they can grow. Do I have a name here? Yay, okay. And then this is a Widgeton wheat, which is also a really older wheat. And then my faves, this is dear old John Barley corn, and he's growing around really well. Hopefully he will survive mid 20 degrees coming up here. A late seeded bed of fava beans and some peas that are doing pretty well. It's interesting how the slugs go after the peas much faster than the fava beans. And then a happy little bed of emmer wheat, both a more wild emmer, which is this shorter growing one, and then a more modern cultivated emmer, which is this taller one here. So gonna totally geek out with the grass lore and botany here one of these days. And then otherwise, I'll take you down to that direction. All right, and real quick, because the rain is picking up and it is getting cold out there, this is some pseudo cover crappie-ish combined with some peas. This on the front, on the most left-hand side, that is a rye, a winter rye, kind of a more modern winter rye, but it also has some field peas that have that dark speckled look of Carlin, so I'm excited about that. Also has some tillerine radishes in there just to try to add a bit more tilth to my soils. And then this one here is that Spanish wheat combined with various different types of favas and then some peas in the back. And then you got the cardoons going on. Holy moly, here comes the rain. All right, so the rain is coming in, rain, sleet, or something, I don't know, winter precipitation. So I am going, thankfully have tomorrow to finish up my preparations. Like for sure I'm gonna put some covers on my Brazilian pines, my Paraná pines. But hope you're staying safe, hope you're warm, and I hope you get some dirt under your fingernails, or at least warm dirt, or maybe some tasty soup in your belly. So take care, everyone.